All right, Maddie, this is the fountain with multiple fish. And if you can see, one of the fish is smaller than the other fish. And that's because the last time that IU won the NCAA basketball tournament in like 1980 something, this whole place was like filled with people. And yeah, so they a couple of people stole all of the fish, which is pretty crazy because they weigh like 2 tons and they're huge. And they're bolted into the bottom of the fountain. Anyway, one of the fish was found on top of Ballantyne Hall, which is the tallest building on campus. It's about 9 floors, I think, or maybe 11, I don't remember. Anyway, one was found in the basement of a fraternity house. One was pretty crazy because they weigh like 2 tons and they're huge. And they're bolted into the bottom of the fountain. Anyway, one of the fish was found on top of Ballantyne Hall, which is the tallest building on campus. It's about 9 floors, I think, or maybe 11, I don't remember. Anyway, one was found in the basement of a fraternity house. One was put on the dean's lawn. And then I don't remember where the last fish went. Anyway, the small fish has not been recovered, and the legend is that either one, we're not going to win another basketball championship until the fish is returned. 2, when we win the championship, the fish will be returned. And 3, that Bobby Knight, the coach for the team at the time, stole the fish and is waiting for a formal apology from the school. Yeah, so that's the story of the fountain. And then across here, that's Lilly Library, where we have like a bunch of like old documents and stuff. We have a Gutenberg Bible in there. And then across the way, that's the auditorium. So that's where we can see a whole bunch of Broadway musicals and different people come and give performances and stuff. And then across the other way, that's just the art building, so we have like art classes and stuff in there. So this is the sweetheart tree, and it's growing inside of the chemistry building because Herman B. Wells made a promise to the Dunn family when he expanded the school that he would never cut down the sweetheart tree. And basically when the chemistry building wanted to expand, they were like, hey, can we move the tree? And the Dunn family was like, no. And so they built the building around it. And so the legend surrounding the sweetheart tree is that if you carve your name, you and your sweetheart carve your names into the sweetheart tree, you'll be together forever. So yeah, this is the sweetheart tree. So this is the Dunn family graveyard. And so that was one of the stipulations that the Dunn family made with Herman B. Wells, is that none of the graves could be moved off of campus. So then we just built campus around the gravesite, which sounds kind of creepy, but it's not. You just gotta think of all the great things that these people did for education and for Indiana, and then it's not so creepy anymore. So Maddie, this is the Rose Gazebo, and so the legend surrounding the Rose Gazebo is that when IU first became co-ed, there was a legend that if you kiss your sweetheart at midnight under the Rose Gazebo, you're going to be together forever. There's a lot of like love stories. I love legends because the 2 dorms were separated, and so the doors locked at midnight. So if you were out kissing at midnight, then everybody knew that you were with Susan, was with Joey or whatever, because you guys were both locked out of your dorm. Yeah. Now the legend surrounding the Rose Garden is if you kiss your sweetheart inside on Valentine's Day, you're going to be together forever. So this is Herman B. Wells, and that's Jenna on top of Herman B. Wells. And the interesting thing about Herman B. Wells is that he was our president in like the 1800s sometime, and he was the one who expanded IU to be as big as it's going to be. So he he purchased a bunch of land from the Dunn family, and they had 3 stipulations. One stipulation was that for every tree that they cut down on campus, you had to plant a new one. And so Herman was like, that's silly, so let's plant 2. The second stipulation was that they couldn't cut down the sweetheart tree, which was the tree that we saw in the chemistry building. And the third stipulation was that they couldn't move any of the family graveyards. So the legend surrounding Herman is that, if you can see his hand's a little golder than the rest of him, is that if you shake his hand, you're going to be academically successful. These are the sample gates, and they're literally on every postcard of Indiana ever. The fascinating light post. So another thing about Herman B. Wells is that he loved to read, and so he also loved to walk while he was reading. So at night he would walk around campus reading his book, and so then he dictated that wherever it was too dark to read his book, he'd put a lamppost, and that's why there are so many lampposts on the campus of Indiana. So that was my first video. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Miss you.